Welcome back to All About the Smokies. We're here at the entrance to Cades Cove. It's right there. If you've never been on it before, we're going to show you what it looks like, what kind of things that you can see along this 11-mile loop. But just before you start, there is a pull-off right over here, and they do have some auto tour booklets that you can pick up before you head in, so you can know where the different trails are. But let's get started. Today's video is brought to you by George Campbell and Jordan Adkins. Both of these folks signed up to become members of All About the Smokies at the sponsorship level. If you'd like to learn more, hit the join button down below. Now, on to the video. As the sign says here, they do have it closed on Wednesdays to motor traffic. It's only open for bikes. Look at this view.
Oh my goodness.
I missed it. We haven't been on this in quite a while. Absolutely beautiful. You explain how you get here. You could come through Gatlinburg or use the bypass.
Yep, just go turn right on the road of the Sugarland Visitor Center, and you just follow that road all the way by.
Now, this is what you run across too, especially in this section, is there usually is some bear sightings out in this field. They'll be climbing up in some of these trees, but then this is what you have to deal with. As a result.
And people aren't supposed to stop right in the road if they think they see a bear or wildlife they want to see. They're supposed to pull off to one of the many pull-offs that there are on the road through the cove.
Yeah, you can see there's these little gravel pull-offs in different spots so you don't cause backups in traffic like this. Trying to walk out ahead of the traffic, and we assume there's a bear, and that's what's slowing down all this traffic, but there's also water running straight across the road here. See if we can traverse it. There's plenty of beautiful views out here, but you definitely have to have patience. You have to exercise patience, because as soon as people see one bear...
Bear over there? Oh, right there?
Yeah. As soon as you see one bear, it kind of brings the entire thing to a halt. Now, likely this ranger here is going to try to keep traffic flowing at this point.
They got traffic moving now. It's about 100 yards.
I don't think it's going to show up on here real good. But there's a bear right there. And that's likely what has... Oh, there's a little cub right behind him. You can't really see him on here. So in all, that little slowdown for that one bear, I guess 3 bears, but most people could only see the one. That one bear ended up causing 25 minutes of slowdown.
Took a park ranger.
Took a park ranger coming to
the head of the line to tell people to start moving.
Yeah.
So
some of the views that you get here.
There's a turkey.
Yeah.
But just something to keep in mind, if you do want to stop and observe the wildlife for longer than a few seconds or a quick picture, please use one of the pull-offs, because traffic was backed all the way up, no doubt, to at least the parking lot. So
I got out on foot and went and was trying to get some videos, some pictures. But there was a car that was just stopped in the middle of the road. They had parked and got out. Like, there was no attempt to let traffic through. So
yeah, they really just want you to do pull-offs,
yeah,
as much as possible, not to hold up traffic, because it does stop a lot of people from being able to get through.
Yeah. Right there's a hike path. What is it?
John Oliver
Cabin. So there's a hike. You can see people walking along it. It looks like they're trying to do some updates to it. They had bulldozers out clearing new paths. But yeah, some parking spaces here, a place that you can pull off and take a small hike back to an old cabin. Yeah, the views that you get out here are really unlike views that you're going to find through standard pull-offs and things. You get such a variety of both mountainous views, meadows, and then the group of wildlife is so diverse too. You might see, we've seen elk, can't remember.
I don't remember.
But like deer, turkeys.
Yeah. We always love the, what is the word I'm looking for? Like the shadows, like the ripples that are in the mountains.
Yeah, because you can see more of them. It ends up giving you definition, lots of different layers of colors in the mountains coming up through here. Alright, and one of the paths to the left here, you can drive down to a primitive Baptist church. We're not going to do that this particular trip.
But it's a quarter mile.
It's a quarter mile down that way, and you can turn around and come back this way. Another pull-off here is they've got some limited parking, but they have an old Methodist church, and they still have services on Sunday morning at this church that you can come to, and they got a little graveyard back here as well, so pretty neat to see.
It's a lot of fun to go in and check out the church and walk around and look at some of the headstones and all of that. But we did come on a Sunday morning once on vacation, and they were having church, and it was really awesome to see.
Right over here is Cades Cove Missionary Baptist Church. We won't show you all of the different pull-offs because we want to leave some of that to your own exploration, but we'll go ahead and come up to this Baptist church here. Somebody's in there praying right now, which is pretty cool. I won't go in and interrupt them. And you can see little graveyards as well. Some of these are very old. Come and pay your respects. And here's another one of the famous Cades Cove traffic jams. No doubt a bear or something way up ahead. I'm going to raise you guys out so you can see just the line of cars. It's earlier I said it's a test in patience, but I think it's also just it's hard not to start to feel frustrated at whomever is at the front of this.
Well, like you said, the last one, somebody just parked their car in the middle of the road and just got out.
Yeah, when I got up to show you guys what it was that was stopping everybody, and they had the doors wide open, just parked in the middle of the road, no care that there's probably 100 cars behind them, just waiting to see the same thing they are seeing. There's a little stream. The stream was calming. There's a pretty shot there. Elijah Oliver Trail parking, but it's also a perfect place to pull off to get some great views as well.
Man, it sure is.
This area has some of the most breathtaking panoramic views that you'll find on this entire loop. So definitely consider pulling off here and getting some awesome pictures. Right, there's another bear. That's what's currently causing the backup in traffic. We've been sitting another 20 minutes for everybody to get a video or picture of that one. This way is the Abrams Fall trailhead. At this point, you can either go left to continue or do what we're doing and go to the Cable Mill Historic Area, which is also their gift shop and restrooms. So what is this, about halfway through or 3/4 of the way through?
I think we're most of the way through at this point.
Yeah, because there's just a little bit of Cades Cove.
You don't get as much scenic views once you leave here. It's just more woodsy. Kind of looks more like Roaring Fork.
But a lot of people will go and picnic in this area. They'll
they have the really cool mill and the house and everything, all the historic.
And a lot of times, especially during busier season, they'll actually have people in like period costumes, like doing demonstrations and things. So you can see all that little area right over there. Let's go in the gift shop.
Cool. Let's put on our page for 99 Got Sugarland. That.
We have calendars and postcards galore. Note cards. DVDs of different seasons, so you can in the Smoky Mountains. That's pretty cool. Quarter coin sets, walking sticks, all kinds of drinkware.
No, that means 3/4.
Fun stuff for kids, little stuffed bears, and
I got it too in my wallet.
and then they also have passports where if you go to different national parks, you can mark those on a little passport. Plenty of keychains. This is where we got one of Miranda's favorite keychains at.
It's going to be 2 weeks. Crap.
Oh well.
Make it 3 and 3. Oh well.
Various magnets, tons of magnets, and pins, and then patches for a jacket or book bag. Hiking and camping trail maps, guides to different animals, so many things. Kids books, field guides, some music from local artists, as well as some jams and sauces, hats, shirts.
We were members of the... Yeah, how do we...
This is my favorite sign in the Great Smoky Mountains.
Really husky.
they have brown eyes. They don't have blue eyes.
Yeah, right. Blue eyes. My youngest daughter, no, this is a woolly husky. They have a woolly husky too.
I've had my picture taken with several of those signs.
He causes all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, I'm just. If you didn't see what all it said, you can rewind it, pause it, so read it. But it's talking about this guy named Bob. He vandalized some property in the national park, and he was fined. He was fined for it. I think the fine's probably greater than what that sign even says now.
Well, and it's just a reminder to respect the historical
nature of nature.
Like, don't carve your name into wood in these buildings, basically.
don't draw on stuff. Don't carve your name and stuff. It's not cool. It's not funny.
It's actually really crazy. Like, even in Gatlin's, like at the putt-putt, there's like a little room that you go in to do one of the holes, and people have written all over everything in that room.
Yeah, it's not okay. Like, that's why, you know, what's the saying? This is why we can't have nice things.
Yep.
This is why we can't have
it's
nice
all
things.
Bob's fault.
Yeah, Bob, what is your problem?
What is your fault?
What is your fault? Bug. Can we go up to this? Oh, can't. Well, let's look at it from here. Normally they have this open. They're probably about closed for the day. But they have this open where you can go in, and they do have some demonstrations and different things in this building. Well, it is an actual old mill. Not to be confused with the old mill. That's where they used to punish the bad kids. No, not really. And this is another barn here. I said that they used to... I don't remember facts very well, and I'm sorry. You store things in here. They have a little door that they can pull things out of, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, there's carvings all in all of these old buildings. Like, why can't we just have historic buildings and not have someone babysit people 24/7? Alright, so I don't know if anybody can guess what this is. I'm going to tell you in just a second. As we get closer, maybe it'll be obvious to you. Okay, we figured it out yet. This is the home of the first McDonald's. This is the drive-through.
It's a carport.
You could just drive through, and they would bring your food out right here, this door. It smells like old
it does.
Building.
Very mildewy.
No, I don't know what all I'm looking at. This could be storage of some kind, probably filled with bees.
I'm very leery of snakes
Yeah.
in these areas.
You get these facts on all about the Smokies that you don't get anywhere else. No one else tells you that that's an old McDonald's. No one else tells you that. I mean, remember, there's a reason for that. Because it's not, but...
You're on their space plant again?
No.
Oh.
Is that why you smiled at me?
No. I just heard you trip right after you said that.
So it's neat to come back, and like I said, some of these often they'll have people out here doing demonstrations. So if you catch it on a day like that, it's pretty cool. Right here is Tipton Place. Another couple of cabins and places over here. Just as a little perspective, there are 17 of the historical buildings, the markers for historical buildings. So once you see the 17th one, the next landmark that you'll see is a donate box, and then you know you're about out. So so this, all in all, was that an extra half hour just then?
Yeah.
So all in all, in addition to how long it normally takes to get through, even if you drove the speed limit all the way through and didn't stop once, it took an hour and a half of just sitting and waiting. man, it gets to a point where it's not worth it for me to come out here. Is that, you kind of feel that way sometimes?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm glad we did today.
oh, I am too, and I'm glad we could bring you this video. But people, anytime they see a bear, will stop right in the middle of the road, and there's pull-offs and there's places that they can pull over. I get everybody wants to see a bear. I do, I really do. But man, it gets tiresome. An hour and a half of your day wasted, in addition to the fact that it takes 40 minutes to get out here, 40 minutes to get back into, that's just to Gatlinburg. If you're going on to Pigeon Forge, it's another 15 minutes. Driving to and from Cades Cove, and all the time that we spent there, we're going to have a total of about 4.5 hours in. So just plan accordingly. Your time might be a little bit less. We had an hour and a half in traffic, just being almost completely stopped. So that might not be the case for you. They say go as early as you can. I think that probably is still true, but once you get into a certain point in the morning, then it just gets crazy busy. So that was Cades Cove here in the Great Smoky Mountains. Plenty of nature to see. Probably one of your better chances to see wildlife.
And it really is enjoyable. You can take as much time as you want.
Yep.
And you are sitting in the car.
Yeah, and for those that can't hike, you can drive and still see nature this way. So that part's really nice.
That's why I saw a girl with a broken leg. So she had a boot. So it's a nice thing for her to do while she's here. So
you get to take in nature. You get to sit in your car. You can get out and take some pictures if you want. You might be able to see some wildlife. You also might sit in traffic, but enjoy it. Don't get too frustrated, and really enjoy it, and maybe take in some hikes too. But that'll do it for this video from the Great Smoky Mountains.
We hope you have a great day.
God bless.